Do you want a tour of my bookshelf? I thought so. Okay, let's tour my bookshelf. Let's go! So here is the bookshelf. Please ignore the boxes. I'm in the process of moving. But anyways, that's the bookshelf all together. So we'll move closer. And we'll start with the top shelf. So on the top shelf is my little tiger. I got her from a flea market a long time ago. And I can't even tell you where the flea market was, or if it was even a flea market. I think it was a flea market, but I honestly don't know where it was. So we'll put her there for now. Okay, and then on the top shelf, I've got a bunch of novels mostly. So as you can see, I've got Fight Club, I've got a couple Japanese ones, translated of course, I don't speak Japanese. And then Moby Dick, Oliver Twist, some classics, Frankenstein, which I've reviewed. So if you want to check that out, I'll link it in the description. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Far from the Madding Crowd. Okay, then on this stack, I have some books that I haven't read: Mysterious Island, Robin Hood, Great Expectations. And then we'll move this stack over so you can see the rest. I've got Dostoevsky here, I've got Alexander Dumas, and then I do have the first 4 of A Song of Ice and Fire books. So there's those. We'll move the tiger back up here. On the second shelf, we'll start with these. I have a bunch of bookmarks that I got. I mostly got them as gifts, but I got a few myself a long time ago. So we've got kids books in the corner, like this one, Caps for Sale. I love that book. So that's some classic kids books that I liked when I was a kid. I just have them now. And then I've got, this is a kid's book. It's all haikus, obviously. And so that one's really cute. It follows a panda and his friends. And then I've got dictionary, I've got the New Testament and the Book of Mormon. I'm proud of this. I got this book through talking to Mormons. So they approached me on the street and they were like, hey, would you like to talk to us about Mormonism, and we'll give you a free Book of Mormon. And I said, okay, great. So I talked to them, they gave me the book, and then they kept bothering me, but I just told them, hey, look, I know where to find you if I want more information, and then they stopped bothering me. So I have a free Book of Mormon, so I'm proud of that. I got the New Testament. I had this for a long, long time. I don't read it. I don't read the Bible, but whatever. And then I've got some books I haven't read yet, all of these. This reader's journal is really nice. You get to input what you read and then how you rate it and any notes you want. So that's really cool. I've got a stack over here that I haven't read. Really big books, Pickwick Papers, and Bleak House. And then I've got Mystery Science Theater 3000, one of the volumes for movies in there. If you don't know what Mystery Science Theater 3000 is, you should check it out. It's really cool. These are puzzle books here. And then let me just move that stack. Okay, so I've moved that stack. So back here on this side are books that I have read. These are all books that I read with my sister because we have a book club between the two of us. We read the books and then mostly classic novels, and then we discuss them together. So, and it's just the two of us and it works really well. So those are those books. Some of my favorites are probably The Gambler by Dostoevsky. That was actually our first novel together. Let's see, Madame Bovary was not one of my favorites. I like The Scarlet Pimpernel. I like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I don't know what this one's doing in here. I didn't read that with my sister. Cousin Bet was pretty good, although not very memorable. Jane Eyre was just okay. Robinson Crusoe sucked. Persuasion was good. I liked Persuasion, and I liked Northanger Abbey. Those were both Jane Austen, those are both good. Okay, moving on to the next shelf. Let's get it in the light here. I've got the complete Sherlock Holmes. I have read most of this novel. I've read most of this book. I've read all of his novels and most of his short stories, so very cool there. And we've got, this was a gift, The Uncanny Reader. It's a bunch of horror short stories, or like thriller kind of short stories. They're very cool. And then I've got George R.R. Martin, more George R.R. Martin, Dream Songs 1 and 2. In one of these, there is a short story that has to do with the Song of Ice and Fire world. It's in that world. And I don't remember which volume it's in. I think it's in Dream Songs 2. But anyways, I've also got the complete works of Plato here. This includes the works of Socrates because Plato wrote down Socrates' words. Socrates didn't write them down himself. So Plato here. We've got a couple of weird books on philosophy of sexuality. So those are those. I've also got the Mists of Avalon. That is apparently the story of King Arthur as told by the women. So that one I haven't read yet, but I got that as a gift and I really want to read it. On Monsters is very interesting. This one was a textbook for one of my classes. I took an undergrad class on monsters, ghosts, and supernatural things in Japan and also in the West. And so this was one of our textbooks. It was very cool to read. I've also got the Arthurian Encyclopedia. This was a gift that one of my sisters got for free. Well, almost free. She had like a bag that she filled up with a bunch of books for like $10 or something. And she got this one in there for me. I've got Kate Beaton. If you have read some classic novels but you haven't read Hark a Vagrant, you need to do that because it's a comic series that she writes, and she writes a bunch of comics about classic novels. So you gotta get on that if you've read classic novels. They're really funny. I've also got, let's see, the complete Grimm's Fairy Tales. This was also a gift, and I really enjoy reading Grimm's Fairy Tales, so there's that. Hamlet, this was my mom's actually from a long time ago, and so I have it now. A couple astronomy books, a few Deadpool classics, HTML and CSS, assertiveness workbook. Those kind of speak for themselves. And then I've got, on this shelf, I've got my D&D dice. I'll move those. And I've got my Latin cue cards. I'll move those so you can see the books better. I've got, let's see, we've got sign language, American Sign Language. We've got linguistics. That was another textbook. We've got some Latin notes. These were textbooks from my Latin class, obviously. 100 Things You Will Never Find. I did a review on that, so check that out. History's Mysteries was a gift. This one 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 was a gift. Oh, wait, I don't think this one was a gift. But a lot of my books were gifts, actually. These were gifts. And then this is a series, a brief history of series. And they have a whole bunch of these, and they're super cool because they deliver exactly what they say. They just give you a brief introduction, but it's not even an introduction. They go in depth somewhat, and so you really do get an understanding of what the topic is. And then these two are just Chinese history, tales from Chinese history. So those were gifts as well. And then let's see, what do we have over here? This is a gift. 32nd Ancient China. This one I bought used, The Bedside Book of Bastards. It's about like nasty people in history. I have a lot of history books in case you haven't noticed yet. Let's see, these are all history books. This one is not a book. So this one is called Stuff and Nonsense, but it's one of those books that look like a book, and then you open it up and it's just a hole in it. Do you know what I mean? So I'll show you here. See? I keep my greeting cards in there. Let's get it back in the shelf here. So it's back in the shelf now. I also got, I don't remember why I have this book, but it's supposed to be handy for somebody when you're kind of like stuck in your head all the time. This one was a gift. This one's really cool. It's very much an introduction to myths and legends from around the world. It covers a lot of myths and legends, and it's very cool. This one was a gift, 7,000 Years of Jewelry. This one's really got really nice pictures, obviously, because you know it's jewelry. It's very cool to look at. I haven't read a lot of it, but this one, Art, A Brief History, was a textbook. This one was a gift, and I have a magazine in there because there's an article in there talking about how the Egyptians didn't use slaves to build the pyramids. Okay, now we're on to the fifth, and final shelf. In here we've got a bear with coins in her. We've got a giant key. And then we've got a bunch of books that don't all fit in the shelf, as you can see. So let's see, these are all history books. Most of them were textbooks at some point. So this was a textbook for History of Africa. This one was a textbook for Rome, obviously. This one I bought, Alexander the Great. Let's see, textbook. I have a Nazi Germany source book. This is really interesting. It's fascinating, but it's also a little creepy because if you don't know what a source book is full of primary sources. So that means that it's full of works that were written at the time that you're studying. So this book is full of like propaganda articles that the Nazis wrote. So it's just the text from them, and speeches and stuff. So that's what that is. Concise History of the Third Reich. These ones went together. I did a history class on the Third Reich. Hitler and Stalin was a textbook. This was a textbook on the French Revolution. This is a textbook. This is a textbook. Sexualities in History. These two were textbooks on the witch hunts. I did a couple of videos on the witch hunts, so go check those out. This one, Modern Japan, was a textbook. Most of these were textbooks. I did a couple classes on life in medieval and early modern Japan, and they were very interesting. Japan has very interesting history. The History of Russia was a textbook. This one I got for free because they were gonna chuck it. This was a textbook. My first ever undergrad history class was daily life in the Middle Ages in medieval Europe. So that one was cool. Oh, there's a spot here. Maybe I should put a book in it. I'm gonna put that book in there, just give me a sec. There, now my Roman books are together. So this was a textbook, that, as I said, was a textbook. And then this was a textbook. This is a textbook. These two I got for free again because they were gonna throw it out with this one. So I got those. And then what do we have over here? We've got another textbook. This is not a textbook, I just bought that one, I think. This is a textbook as well. Historiography is like the history of studying history. So it is exactly what it sounds like. It's the history of history. So that is my bookshelf. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.